And today we're going to be looking at a scenario where civilization starts over. Let's get into it. This is season 2, episode 8 of the series, and let's get into it. So today we're going to be starting over in the Middle East, where the Mesopotamians are going to start an expedition to rapidly expand down south into what they think is like a giant continent thing. They don't really know what it is, but some theories say that the continent that they're in looks something like this. According to what they know, the continent that they think it may look like, they think the whole continent might look something like this. So they think all of this here is land, or at least some water, but they're going to just go ahead and explore into it. Is what they think, but it's just the Arabian Peninsula. Yeah. So the Mesopotamians are going to start rapidly exploring down south towards the Qatari area, as they will be going and expanding a bunch. No, exploring. How do I get those two words confused a lot? I don't know. But they will eventually explore over into the UAE areas. And this is something, definitely. But a group over here decides, you know what? We don't want to be part of Mesopotamia anymore. So we see a country forming. As we have the Lima Arabian country forming, and this country forms right here, eventually it expands to encompass about all of this area of the UAE, and will be working towards taking this coastline, which they eventually do. Yeah, they will even make a sort of colony thing in Qatar, and will be annexing the area, and will be going ahead and taking this area. And this country is sort of small, but Mesopotamia doesn't like it, but what can they do? They don't really want to mess with the countries right now, as they are on a peaceful route, seeing that the stability, if I can get to the map, there, is sort of low. Yeah, so they're going on a peaceful route and not going to war with anybody, so they don't collapse. Yeah, because in this era, war isn't really supported in certain areas. War is supported, especially in Yugoslavia, but we can get to that later. But the Mesopotamians, people are mass supporting this journey of exploring down into the unknown continent, which is what they call it. But now it's starting to get more known, as these Arab explorers continue to explore down the coastline of Arabia, eventually discovering to about here before they're forced to stop. Let's go to here now, with this little mess thing with the Yugoslav Independence War. Let's make a name for this war. I think I called it the Yugoslav Independence War, but let's just say the Yugoslavian Revolution. Yeah. And so basically the Yugoslavian Rebellion is going to start by capturing this major city within the midst of this war. As they go ahead and work to connect up their areas, as they connect up all their southern areas here. And also, this area is just already kind of supporting the nation, but didn't quite want to join yet. So they are already sort of being supported. But the red team over here is going to start pushing back over here, eventually recapturing this river. As they also start to go ahead and get on the midst of this major city. Eventually, the major city falls, which is sort of the capital region of this part of the rebellion. And well, this thing falls. And the red team starts to push up, attempting to capture this major city. This major city is pretty important, as, should we make a temporary capital for this thing? Yeah, sure. As the new temporary capital of Yugoslavia is right here. Maybe we shouldn't represent that on the map since they're not quite, they're not quite independent. But the red team will be getting really close to taking the Yugoslavian capital, or at least the temporary one. They're looking to capture this major city for its capital, but they don't have control. But Yugoslav troops will be going down and recapturing more areas around the city. But the red team will continue to push back against Yugoslavia over here, and well, this is basically what the front lines look like so far. Let's go to another place in the world. How about over to Anatolia, where some things have been happening. Let's look at the orange team. The brown team invades the orange team, looking to have more peace comings, but the people are more like supporters of like the orange team now and the red team and stuff like that. Here's the ability map, by the way. But brown team forces are looking to gain more wetland and resources, but their excuse is to make the country better and have peace comings. This thing is weak, probably the weakest country in the world, besides maybe Cyprus, but we haven't done anything with them in a while. And the brown team invades the orange team, eventually capturing the capital city of the orange team. And the orange team's capital falls in the... Where is it? There. It falls in the peace treaty of this war, and the brown team fully annexes the orange team. I'm pretty sure this is the first nation in the history of the world to collapse, to disappear off this map. Every nation that has ever existed in history on this map so far is currently on the map, but the orange team is the first to go. Yeah. Let's go to the green team now, as the green team is splitting. As we can see, the green team is unstable. And while they have such stability issues because of their religion. As you can see, their religion is split between the red ethnicity over here. Let me get a different color. The red ethnicity here, which looks like that, and then the green ethnicity here, and some Ukrainian ethnicities here. Yeah. So this thing is just going to split in half, and is going to split in half by these provinces, which one half of the country is going to split in apart from the green team. That is the green team religion, and the rest of the country is going to be red team. So let's see what that split looks like. This split is going to look something like this, as this section of the green team, which is part of the green ethnicity, is going to be, well, here. And it basically just splits away from the green team. And the green team is in a weak state now, and they are looking to reconquer some of their old lands. Specifically down south with the brown team. So the green team is going to start an invasion of the brown team. The green team quickly enters its troops into here, and its only wish is to take back these river areas. That's really all they want. So the brown team will be quick to lose these river areas. But then the brown team will also be starting to lose a lot. The green team has some power, but not very much. But they will be able to push back against the weak brown team. And the brown team, seeing their capital threatened, is going to, well, make a deal with them. They will be forced to, give up the territories that the green team wants in order for them to live. And you can look at this peace treaty. And this is the deal, the green team gets this. But surprisingly, the brown team is going to be forced to release this country, which is in the same place as the orange team, but this is not the orange team. This is a new country, and the brown team is very much weakened. But the green team has a bit more power now. Yeah. Where to go now? Let's go over to Persia, actually. As we can see, Mesopotamia finally continuing exploration into Persia. As for all this time that this area hasn't changed, the Mesopotamians have been building up a force in order to explore into these mountains. And this force quickly starts exploration over into these Persian mountains, as they quickly go ahead and take these regions. Yeah, they will mainly be putting an emphasis on the coastline as they go ahead and capture some areas here and eventually discover this river. They won't be claiming it, but they will sort of be building a few Mesopotamian outposts, but they won't be officially claiming it, yeah. In Mesopotamia, let's do a Mesopotamian expansion update. What the people don't want is, and why Mesopotamia isn't going to war, the people want expansion. That's what they want. They don't want war, though. They want expansion without war. Yeah. Some Mesopotamians, many of them, will be going ahead and expanding into these new Persian discovered areas. And especially on these coastlines, as they go ahead and claim all this coastline here. And because of this, we'll be exploring more into the mountains to make the border look better. Yeah. As the Mesopotamia, they don't take land from the Caspian Sea because that doesn't exist. But, well, they basically go ahead and explore over here as they continue to explore and eventually start exploring down here into these Persian regions. They go ahead and expand into here in the Persian region for now. And let's make this look a little nicer. That look good? No. There. Going up here, we can see the Mesopotamians alongside their ally over here in the Mesopotamian region. No. This ally is going to also continue to expand into the Caucasian region as they quickly go ahead and, well, take more land. Quickly going ahead and working to help conquer the Caucasian areas with Mesopotamia as they go ahead and, well, take more. Now let me make sure these get aligned correctly. And, well, the border eventually will look something like this with Caucasia, as the mountains are about here. But that's not going to stop the new Lime country thing from expanding, as they go ahead and expand into these Caucasian mountain regions, quickly going ahead and expanding more, going ahead and claiming a pretty large piece of territory, actually. Yeah. Mesopotamia, with their new explorations down south, they are going to be expanding more and more over into these regions as they go ahead and, with the help of Egypt, will be expanding across the coast. They will give Egypt some of this land. No, not they. Egypt will be claiming this land, but Mesopotamia will be actually cutting off Egypt from the coastline of the Red Sea. And the Egyptians don't really like that, but what can they do? Look at Mesopotamia. They're pretty powerful, aren't they? Yeah. Let's go down here to Africa now, as the Egyptians continue to mass explore around the Nile Delta, quickly going ahead and continuing down south their expedition, eventually discovering this river, going up and continuing to explore down south. Eventually these two groups split. They do connect, but this one eventually ends at the river, and this one continues going. And basically, this is what Egypt has discovered. Yeah. And there's some theories made by people that, hey, maybe there's some giant water thing here. Maybe this river is connected somehow with this. So people are going to decide to continue to explore over into Egypt a lot more, quickly going ahead and exploring these coastlines. And, well, they make large exploration here, eventually discovering all this and realizing that maybe this might not be a giant land of water. Maybe it's something else, which that itself is the Red Sea. But they don't know that, so how does it really matter? I don't know. But they will be continuing to go ahead and continue to explore a lot. But people don't really want to expand right now, as the government is sort of in shambles. Maybe not. The government is just not really supporting of the people, or the people in support of the government. But the government is a very people-supporting government, so it's kind of confusing in Egypt. People in Egypt don't want expansion, but the government does, so the government listens. And, well, according to the people, they just want to claim it later when they're stronger, in order to form an empire. But they do explore down south with a lot of help from Mesopotamia, obviously. The Lime team is going to be going ahead and making a landing over here, and this annoys Algeria a lot. Algeria is mad, and especially because of this, as they were working to claim this area. They were literally building outposts here. And Algeria, they had a few outposts here, ready, working to claim all this coastline here. But now, nope, the Lime team just comes in here and claims it all. And the Algerians will be telling the Lime team this, or the Gold team this, and the Gold team's like, hey, Lime team, give that back. Give it. And the Lime team is like, this is our territory. We got here first. We claimed it first. So it's ours. And the countries here are like, no. This is not your territory. We're going to war. So the Lime team sends troops over into Algeria and starts the invasion of Algeria, which responds with war from the Star Alliance, the most Mesopotamia is up there, but no, the Gold team is more powerful, so they're stronger. But the Lime team is going to have quick successes in this war, as the gold team has an offensive military. The defensive military, they don't have it being very big. So the Lime team has very quick success in the war as they capture these islands, working to take naval control of the Western Mediterranean. As they continue to go ahead and start blitzing the entirety of the Algerians before gold team offensives arrive. They quickly go ahead and invade into these areas, quickly going ahead and taking this major city, and eventually we'll be able to push them back here. And well, the gold team is just, gonna have a stalemate with the Lime team. And the Lime team is like, hey, if you give us this colony since you want it so bad, why don't you give up these islands? And the gold team is like, okay, how about we give you the tiny little thing next to you of this thing that you want, and we give you half of this, and we get half that back. Yeah. And they make that deal, and we can look at the Treaty of this war. And this is the Treaty of the War, as the Algerians get this, and the Lime team gets this, half of this island, and this island, and the Western Mediterranean is doing things. Yeah. But Algeria is going to start another mass exploration down the coast of Morocco. Or they know nothing about this area, so they will go explore down here before working towards expanding their claims into this area, or just Africa alone, as they quickly go ahead and claim all of this territory. Their claims look about like this, and they're starting to build outposts along this coastline, working to claim it. Yeah. The gold team, seeing this, is going to go ahead and start to, claim. As they claim and explore a huge chunk of Africa, as they work to claim just a giant thing of country. Yeah, thing of country. Very nice description. Thing of country. That's the new name of this area. Yeah, definitely. But the Athenian country is also going to do the same thing, as they are the ally of the gold team, or the first ally, and they will be going ahead and claiming a territory that looks something like this. Yeah, and this is New Africa. Going over to Europe, we can see that the yellow team will be working to claim more areas over here, as they go ahead and claim many areas of the Baltics, which they have wanted to claim this area, actually. Pretty cool thing, as they go ahead and explore and claim up into Latvia. They have already explored this area. Most of let's do a map thing of what has been explored by some countries. All of this here was explored by the yellow team. The blue team explored all of this thing. The Ukrainians explored all of this, and Russia explored all this up here. So that's basically what they're saying. Basically, these countries are wanting to claim what their explorers, explored. So that's what the yellow team is doing. The blue team is going to do the same thing, but actually explore into territories that the Ukrainians and the blue team work to help explore. Yeah. And the blue team people are liking this, or at least liking the government now. Think about the blue team. Their government hasn't really been liked, as they were just kind of spat out from the yellow team civil war. Yeah, the Italian-Slovenian war. But the blue team will be expanding up now, officially making the people actually like the nation. Yeah. And Ukraine is going to have its largest expansion in a very long time, as they work and go insane over exploring and claiming all these rivers. Claiming this whole river, or at least this part of it, and will be working and going crazy over here, exploring all these new territories, and basically these countries want to divide up this area of land. But the Ukrainians can also do stuff down south, as they go ahead and work with this country here to claim a bunch of territories, as they are quick to go ahead and claim up to about, let's say, they climb up into about this river. As the river kind of stops them for now. Rivers are still pretty important in this time, I'd say. As well, they are just stopped by this whole river thingy here, and they go ahead and continue to explore. Claim, yeah. And how about this piece of territory here? Well, it's actually going to be split between the blue team and the Ukrainians, and they sort of make like a formal deal, sort of. The blue team gets this, and the rest of this here goes to the purple team. And this is the border between the two nations. And Russia is going to do pretty similar things, as they are quick to mass expand over into these areas, officially making a border with the blue team. Yeah. And they even explore greatly across these rivers, expand, as they will go ahead and claim all this area, making a giant border with Ukraine. Eventually, that doesn't happen, but the yellow team is going to be going ahead, if I can get the color. Going to claim the Estonian region and even these two islands. As well, the rest of this is sort of disputed, but eventually a deal is made, and the division of this region is going to look something like this. Yellow team gets this, and the Russians will be getting this. Yeah. And well, Eastern Europe is basically divided, but it's a giant mess with the yellow team, as you can expect. Look at this. This is the yellow team. If you got rid of the yellow team, just made it an ocean, this would connect the Mediterranean and Baltic Sea. It's that big. Yeah. What's going to be happening now is that the Swedish are going to expand a lot. We haven't mentioned these guys in a while, but what have they done? They've explored a lot over in these Norwegian areas, discovering that, well, the whole southern area, Ukraine, exists. And they've actually explored a whole bunch. But the islands of Copenhagen are really preventing them. But they do find this island. And with this exploration comes their expansion, before a bit more exploration, as they go ahead and finally start to claim a bunch of these territories. As they claimed the entirety of this area here, thingy-majingy, and they have claimed all the areas down here. And that's basically what happened in this area within that time. But over here, we can see that the Benelux country is going to go ahead and claim all of Denmark. And just the Copenhagen Island here is what's kind of holding this thing back. But well, a landing by the Benelux happens by, well, the Benelux country over in Copenhagen Islands is what I can call this. I don't know what it's actually called. I'll just call it Copenhagen Island. It's not actually called that, I know that, but, well, the Swedish and the Benelux finally discover each other, and now Sweden is connected with the rest of this. Yeah. Going over to England, we can see that the French are doing insane as they explore all of these areas here. And if I can color every single tiny individual dot thingy-majingy, just a few more dots, they have, well, expanded all the way into Scotland, or like the entire area. And because of this, the French are going to go ahead and make a pretty large claim over here in the British Isles, going ahead and claiming all of this area and working towards claiming the whole of Wales, as they did claim all of this area here. Yeah. And basically this is the world map. Oh, China. Should we update you? Yeah, sure. Yeah. The Chinese have greatly explored these rivers, as they're very economically prosperous because of them. But how do you have an economy in this world when you're the only nation? At least you think you're the only nation. Not really though, but, well, let's just continue the exploration, as the Chinese are working towards exploring everything around them, hoping to maybe find another civilization. They want more civilizations to make trade with. And basically this is what they explore, and they don't expand into any of it just yet. Going over to Arabia, we can see that Mesopotamia will be exploring even more across this area, as eventually the Egyptians will be making a giant landing over here, working towards exploring the new continent, is what they call it, even though it's just connected to the one they already live on, which is Afro-Eurasia. Technically Asia, but, well, Europe is connected to Asia. Europe, Asia stuff, yeah. But eventually, with the help of the UAE, the entirety of the Arabian Peninsula gets discovered. And, well, this is our world map. And I think I might be able to include China in the thumbnail now. A few things. So actually continue Chinese things as they go ahead and explore up, eventually exploring all this area. And then let's do the Yugoslav Revolution. As the Yugoslavs will finally start to push back the Red Team, as the Red Team has used a lot of its troops, and the Red Team is going to spend a majority of their troops down in the temporary capital area as they actually capture this and go towards the second capital, which is here, and take it. This absolutely destroys Yugoslavia, but they are able to recapture this capital and take out these troops. But this is really bad for Yugoslavia, as the Red Team is right back to having full occupational forces ready to fully occupy the thing permanently. Yeah. But then another nation joins the war on the side of Yugoslavia. A nation that has had history with the Red Team. Nation formed in episode 1. So it's not like you or anything, or many of these nations around here, or basically everybody here. But this nation once had a war with the Red Team, officially making the relations sour. And well, this nation is the Blue Team, as the Blue Team starts their invasion of the Red Team, taking this major city. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's scenario where civilization started over. See you in the next episode, where we will continue a lot more in Europe. And, well, this thing, and maybe some more civilizations will pop up in Asia. Maybe even Africa. Or the Americas. Who knows? Well, let's say, see you in the next episode, and bye!